Hello everyone, and welcome to the Brickformula review of LEGO Set 4205 Off-Road Command Center. It has 403 pieces for ages 5 to 12, and it's from the City series, and this set retails for $39.99. And I would like to give a shout out to Yabu1001, Jared 58974, Alan 321 Gentry, Bachman 55, LEGO Stormtrooper 4567, Disconic 11, LEGO Cam TV, Mr. RandomCom, and Mr. Lego Geek 1, because they are the subscribers who requested that I review this set. So everyone, check out their channels. And moving forward, here in the front we can see that the robber is desperately trying to get away, which is actually kind of funny. Here on the side we have the minifigures, more on that later. And here in the back, it looks like they finally caught up with them, which is too bad. I was kind of rooting for him. But anyway, I'll talk about this set in more detail coming up. Here are the minifigures, and first up is the robber, who is still wearing his Oshkosh Bagosh overalls. But don't let his sloppiness fool you, he is a slippery one. And next we have our two forest policemen who are wearing the same uniforms, and we have two life jackets for them. And here they are all around. The only thing different about them are their faces, which if you recognize, is the same pair from the heavy duty helicopter set and the forest police station too. So I'm guessing they're partners. First we'll take a look at the police boat, because you get to build this first. Well, technically it's called a dinghy, but I'm going to call it a boat because when I say the word dinghy, I get all these immature thoughts in my head that I really shouldn't be sharing with you guys. So boat it is, okay? And here's the view from the side, and right there we get a sticker that says police, which is right there. And you get one to go on the other side, this way you know who it is. And here's the view from the back. Overall it's a pretty cool design, and I really love the way they made this part. Although I'm not too fond about these two antennas in the back here, because they do affect the playabilities with it if you decide to play with it in the bathtub. Because you will more than likely knock these out, and then you gotta fish them out of the tub, which kinda sucks. So I do recommend that you just take these off before you play in the tub. Here's a view from the top, and this is where we're gonna stick in our forest policeman to drive this thing. And once you capture the robber, you can have him sit in the back, and hopefully he'll behave. Although honestly, I think he can just jump off and swim away, because those handcuffs do provide enough leeway for him to get away with a few strokes. And up here we can move this up and down, although why on earth would you do that? It's not very fun. Here's a view from the front, and we got a flashlight right there. And even though the windshield doesn't really block the wind from his face, it still looks pretty cool overall. And there's the bottom, so if you don't want to play with this in the tub, we do get 4 slide shoes, so you can play with this on any smooth surfaces. And speaking of which, let me just show you guys this thing floating in some water. And here we go. It's incredibly seaworthy. And let's take a closer look. It doesn't really sink in that much, so it's definitely a lot of fun if you decide to play with this in the tub. That is until you decide to sink them, and then you're like, oh no, officer down. Or not really, it actually came back up. Interesting. Next we'll take a look at the trailer that you use to transport the boat around. And here it is up close. It's a very simple design. Now the only bad thing about it is that it doesn't come with any landing gear, so when you want to have this stand by itself, it's going to look like that. But it's a pretty easy fix. Usually when the trailers use this piece over here, you can just add your own little landing gear like that, and it does the trick. It's not very fancy, but at least it does the job. The only drawback to that is that when you hook this back up to the command center, this thing kind of gets in the way, especially if you have it upwards. So if you have it sideways, it's not so bad. So it's probably something you can just try out on your own. Anyway, here's the view from the top, and there's the back. There's a lot of lights here, and right there we got a huge bumper sticker that looks like this, which is this top sticker right here. And there's the other side. There's the bottom, and it's pretty wide too, but that's expected since you use this to carry the boat. And to put this on here, you just make sure that the front of the boat lines up with the front over here, and you have 2 studs standing out in the front, and just let it sit there. See? Pretty easy. No skills required. And now to check out the off-road command center, which is really cool looking. I love how it looks really sophisticated and compact all at the same time. There's actually a lot to cover here, so just bear with me. Here's the view from the side, and there's the top. Now let's take a look at the command center real quick. You just open that up, and there it is. We got a cup of joe to keep you awake. And over on that side, it looks like a computer that you can play Diablo 3 on when it comes out. May 15, baby. And over on that side, you can probably watch TV via satellite, and you lift that up just like that. And you can turn this around to get better reception. Over here, you get some stickers, which look like these two down here. It's probably not necessary, but it is there if you want to make it more detailed. And over on this side, you can open this up, and you got one fancy walkie-talkie. I like how they have it placed there. It actually looks pretty cool. And over on this side, you can lift this off, and we got room for 2 minifigures up there if you want. We got another cup of joe. Man, these guys love to drink. I guess it's okay, they're out there in the forest. The bathroom is everywhere. Because as cool as this thing is, there's no bathroom in this thing. But anyway, I guess that's not a problem. And we'll just slide this guy in here. It's pretty easy. Love those side mirrors too. And there's a view of the front. And over here we got another sticker that says police. And down here is another bumper sticker, which is this one right there. And that's the police sticker. Here's the other side. And behind this door is the crate that the robber used to get away down the river. And inside we got a flashlight. Now what's really interesting about the command center is that you can kind of rip it off because it does feel a little bit loosely attached. As you can see, it's attached by 8 studs there. And interestingly enough, there are windows on all 4 sides, which you don't really need it on this side because it's up against the wall over there. But because it's built that way, I'm guessing that you can just modify it if you like. You can have it sit like that if you like, or this way. But definitely not this way because the handlebars will get in the way. And the same can be said about this part too. See that? So if you want, you can rearrange them, even though it might look a little funny at first. But it's actually not bad. See? It's pretty cool looking. So overall, it's a really, really neat design. And now we can move on to the recommendations. Overall, I'd say that this is an excellent set, and I definitely recommend getting it. When it comes to the value, we're looking at around 10 cents a piece, which is really good since we get a black boat. Because usually when we get that, the price per piece ratio is pretty high. And according to Bricklink, we're getting about $54 to $75 worth of parts here, not including the minifigures, which is really good since this retails for $40. So clearly, you can't go wrong with the value on the set. And when it comes to the play value, I think it's really good too. We have a floating police boat, which is something that we don't really have anymore since the most recent one was discontinued in December 2011. The only drawback to this set is that the trailer doesn't have a landing gear, but as you saw earlier, you can definitely fix that on your own with your own parts. And while I'm on that subject, I should point out that the truck doesn't really fit underneath the Forest Police Station, which is not really a big deal. Otherwise, there's a lot of play features just in the off-road command center itself. And I especially love how the robber can use the crate to go downstream. I thought that was pretty hilarious. So in the end, you'll have a lot of fun with this set, and it's definitely a worthwhile one to get. And that sums up my review. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.